Connections and life experiences are critical to growing your business. That's what Louise Ballard has found in an initial stages of running her business. Welcome to the session, Louise. How are you?
Hi there, Amit. Very well, thank you.
Excellent stuff. Really nice to have you here. Let's get straight into it, my dear. Would you like to start by sharing, telling us a bit about your business and the kind of services you provide?
Yes, absolutely. So, my business is a platform for people to come to when they are looking to get back into work,
Hmm.
or to move careers. So, we want to create a place for companies who welcome returners and career switchers, as well as coaches and trainers. So a one place to come when you know that you want to change, but you just don't know where to start. It's called
Amazing.
Beyondable.
Beyondable. Putting people beyond the misery and
Yes.
finding out how to move forward. Amazing. And it sounds like a really interesting business idea, mainly because you've created or you've delved into a niche. Now, plenty of business owners are often scared of creating a niche, thinking, why do I want to niche down my services when the pool is large? Why am I going to exclude myself from such a large pool? However, you've gone down the smart route of creating a niche. Tell us a couple of reasons why you've chosen to create or go down a niche and what other business owners should be thinking about niches and how they can change their mind around it.
Well, I think it was based on very much on my own experience, and I believe that if you've experienced something, then you're pretty well positioned to be able to
Mm,
exploit that from a business perspective as well. But we realized that there are actually there the internet is an overwhelming place. If you're looking to come back to work, it's actually very difficult to know where to start. So by
yeah.
creating a filter, to create a filter where you can come and you can find, and particularly if you're not, you haven't followed a conventional path, so you've taken time out because you've had children, you've taken time out because you've been caring, but you know that actually you're not going to be able to follow the traditional route back in very easily. It is
Mm,
very difficult to find the way to back to work. So
yeah.
by creating a place where you can come, where you can find dedicated resources that are going to help you, whether that's employers who are welcoming of returners or career switchers, or it's coaches and training programs, then or equally a community of similar people, then we wanted to create a hub, a spot for you to come to be able to start that journey. We can't promise that you'll end, we're
Yeah,
not
of
going to
course.
be able to find the job, but if we can be the one place that you come and you start to find your route, then we believe that's quite a powerful niche as well.
Brilliant. So niches are good because if you were to summarize in a sentence,
Because they are targeted, because then you know exactly what you're dealing with. You're not trying to be all things to all people.
absolutely, absolutely. And creating that target is so important in the crowded workplace as you summarize over there.
And
Now,
I've already worked in a niche in that I've run a PR company before, which had its own specialties. So
okay,
I know that actually working within a niche, you can perfect your art, I suppose.
yeah, absolutely, you can perfect your art. So looking ahead, and you mentioned the word AI before we started shooting this clip. And AI is growing in all sorts of ways. Some of them could be some quite dangerous, as we've heard in the news recently. Some of it can be so liberating. Can you talk to us about a bit about AI and the role it's playing when it comes to careers and jobs?
Well, yes, absolutely. And I think that's something I've spent a lot of time looking into. And it was one of the reasons why we actually believed that there was an importance or a need for Beyondable. And that
Mm,
is because when you look at any of the research, AI is set to really transform the workplace. And the future of work is going to look very different to the way the workplace looks today.
mm,
And all of the data in the research proves that suddenly human skills, soft skills, skills that are not knowledge based or technology based are going to become far more in demand. And those are actually the skills that if you've taken time out, or you've been looking after children, or you want to switch career, those are your mindset is something that's really powerful. And actually, if you can think forward to a place where a job will have an AI manual, then suddenly it's how you do your job that's just as important as the knowledge that you have. So we believe that actually changing the narrative around mindset, changing the narrative about what's important in a job, and it is starting very slowly actually at the moment in some organizations. There are programs starting to do this, but we're going to see a wholesale change here. So AI we see as a positive. It's a productivity tool. It's going to free up lots of time, but it's also going to create a need for people who are thinking on their feet. They're the hit the ground running type of people.
Amazing. So something to embrace, not be scared of, and something to
I
use to
think
your
we think
advantage
so,
type thing.
yes.
Amazing. Now, you've been in business for 6 weeks, so relatively new in the world of business on this venture at the moment,
Yeah.
that is. What lessons do you think you've drawn from your previous PR businesses into this business that's really helping you?
So I think patience is an important one. Planning is another one. I think also having a viewpoint on the big picture. So um, there are, when you set up a business, you have to also spend time thinking about the business, not just doing the business. And that is definitely a learning that I took away from my previous business.
Yeah.
That you have to spend time working out what your marketing strategy is going to be, how you're going to reach out, how you're going to keep your customers happy, how you're going to business develop, not just actually do the business itself. So I think that the planning piece has been very important. I think that for me personally, this business has given me a real purpose. I was unwell last year, and so this has really given me a purpose to see that if I can get out there and create and transform systems and change the narrative around many people who I know who are sitting in their homes, not sure how to get back into the world of work. If I can help that based on the experiences that I've had, then I will do that. So I think following your purpose is also a really important thing to do. From a purely practical standpoint, and this goes to the very heart of Beyondable as well. When you hire staff, and that's one of the most difficult things for small businesses, and the one that I really took away from my last businesses, don't discount people who haven't done what you're doing at the time. Count in people who've got a really good mindset, because actually you can teach skill set, but it's very hard to teach mindset. So when you hire, if you put that into the most important bucket, rather than have they done all the things before, I think you'll find some incredible gems of people that will be with you for the long term. So that's my biggest
And I completely echo that. It's a brilliant point. There was a saying out there where I think I've latched onto myself in style is mindset before skill set, first of all, and attitude before aptitude. And that's a huge rule when it comes to recruiting. And it sounds like it's the center of what you do. But now let's take a look forward. Taking a look at the next 3 years, and you must have come across this question many times as a relatively new startup, is what kind of challenges do your business personally see over the next 3 years, rather than the whole kind of economic backdrop and Brexit and all that kind of stuff? We can't really use that, so let's park that aside. But for your specific business, what would you say are the top 3 challenges you got to overcome?
So I think the top 3 challenges is cutting through the noise, because there is so much noise out there. So having a very specific marketing strategy, to be clear. We obviously need to have a B2B and a B2C marketing strategy, because we need to speak to businesses, but we also need to speak to consumers. So we need to be very clear on how we're doing that, and we're doing that in so I think marketing is going to be one, and cutting through the noise that is out there. I think the second one will be people, because actually scaling to get the right people is hard, but I'm going to follow my hard and set rule of mindset. And we are also offering internships for people who want to get back into business, who have spent time out, who really like what we're doing. And we've had a lot of people contacting us on that front, and using and helping them at the same time as them helping us. So people is a really important one. And then, managing the scale up, really, because we know that the financing is tricky at the moment. We are a technology, we would like to be based on a technology platform, but we are going to be bootstrapping this business. So making sure that we're finding the right finance sources. I think government is going to be one, government grants is going to be one, because what we're doing has a social impact, and is really speaking to a lot of the government goals. So making sure that we can scale it up in a way that means that we can keep growing. And I think probably every small business person is in that same boat. So making sure I'm well aware of all of the different ways to build the business and not thinking too small. One big lesson that I've had was reading a book this year called Playing Big.
Okay.
And particularly for women, it's about thinking big, playing big. Don't limit yourself. See this business as a big business in the next 2 years. Don't see it as a little website that's there from time to time. We see it will become a big business because we're thinking that as well.
Amazing.
So I recommend that book for any of your listeners as well. It's called Playing Big by Tara. Yes.
By Tara Ball.
Moore, M-O-H-R. She has been inspirational to me and many others.
Made a note. It's going to go in the recommendations list for sure. Probably on my Christmas stocking list as well.
Yes, it's good.
There we go. But Louise, it has been really nice speaking to you. Some refreshing insights into the world of business from yourself as a relative new joiner, new business rather, but also somebody that's created a new niche, created a new market. And hey, look, the world can always do with a new market. Thank you so much for your time. Wishing you all the very best. Hopefully our paths cross again in the future. Until then, good luck.
Thank you very much.